We haven't talked about Shadeur Sanders' play much this season. We talked briefly before the season, but I wanted to get your just opinion on just take as to his play this season. He obviously had a hell of a year, won the Golden Arm Award. I believe the award tonight comes out for. I mean, he's had a hell of a season. What are your thoughts on his season? Should he have been a Heisman finalist? Go ahead.
I think if Travis Hunter was, I think he should have been. Offensively, he's their best player, right? I think he had to deal with, Horn being not productive for a while there on a stretch. I know he didn't get the catches and stats that we all thought he would, but then what's his name, Shepard or whatever. I know you guys know he stepped up, and you had other guys step up and do better. I think he threw for almost $4,000. I think he's the best deep ball thrower in the draft. But having said that, I think this is the worst quarterback draft in my lifetime. So I'm just going to say that. I think he's the best deep ball thrower. I think him and the BYU kid are the two best in the conference. Arizona State's guys coming up. I just wish they would have played Arizona State. I wish they would have played Iowa State. I wish they would have played BYU in the conference, because I don't believe the NCAA, the conference schedule makers, forward thought this, because I think it could have helped the playoff, which I think is an absolute fucking joke. I think it would have helped, and it would have kept maybe a Penn State or an Indiana out, which didn't even play each other. They didn't even fucking play each other in a conference where really Ohio State and Oregon ran. And if they would have played each other, maybe one of them motherfuckers would have been out. And if Colorado would have played somebody, you guys had an argument, maybe they got in. See what I'm saying? It was a bad scheduling situation throughout the country. And I think that you would have saw Shedeur go against BYU, which we're now going to see in a bowl game. Well, listen, frankly, to be honest, it's too late. I don't really want to watch Colorado play BYU, because how many opt-outs are going to be with BYU? How many fucking – they're all going to play BYU?
Everybody's playing on both sides.
And listen, one of my best friends in the world is Kalani Sitake. We all – most people that know me know and him. He's the same as Dion. He ain't letting guys opt out either, and that's not really a Polynesian way culturally. So I'm glad to see this game, because both teams will play. But at the same time, I'd rather saw that game week 8. I'm just saying, because
I would have liked to see it week 8 too. Shit.
This game could have been a lot more meaningful. I mean, not this game, but I would have much rather saw them play Miami. I don't know why the schedulers would not have fucking done that. It makes zero sense. Zero sense.
That would have been a badass bowl game.
But I think he's the best deep ball thrower, to answer your question. I think his motion's a little elongated for me as it translates to the next level. And I don't know how strong his arm is, to be honest, but it's very good. I have no question. I think he's the best deep ball thrower. And I love his nuts and guts standing in the pocket. But at the same time, is he going to translate to being a guy that we're talking about in 5 to 7 years in the NFL? That's going to be the question that we have to wait and see. I just don't know. I think he's poised, though. I think he holds the ball much too long. I think he needs to get rid of the football. I think that, I was a slow white guy in the pocket that had an awful O-line my whole career. I never took sacks, and I never blamed the O-line. I made the O-line look good, and I think Matt can even attest, quarterbacks make O-line look good, not the other way around. So that's just what it is. O-line has a much harder position, a job at the point of attack than the QB does, especially in the gun 7 yards deep when I'm already hiding from you. O-line has to engage right fucking now with possible different fronts and pressures and spies and all this different things. Make them look good, man, and then feed them on the weekends. And I think Shedeur does a good job with that as far as that goes. I think he takes care of his O-line, just like Cam Ward does in Miami. Other guys do. So I'm good to see that. I used to feed my guys every Friday night. It is what it is, and they were shitty. But guess what? Don't let them know that. So I mean, that is what it is.
Until now.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Cam Ward misses too many layups for me. Meaning easy completions that you're supposed to make consistently. Cam Ward misses a lot of that shit. I'm not high on Cam. There's just not a lot of guys in this draft that I'm high on. I'm not high on Dylan Gabriel. I don't think he translates. It is what it is, man. You can call me a hater, nitpicker all you want, but I think I have a track record for being pretty fucking right with QBs coming out of college into the league. You guys can go Google me, all you fanboys out there. But I think he's the best deep ball thrower. I want to see him translate to the NFL, and he's going to have to get a quicker clock in his head. He's going to have to strap up the elongation of the motion. I think he needs to come more sock the wall instead of cocking it back. He's already long already, and I don't know if he's athletic enough or freaky enough. I think he's athletic. I think he's Patrick Mahomes-esque. That's just how I look at it. He's ad-lib enough to get out of the pocket to make plays, but he's not a Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, Josh Allen. He's not going to sustain running around back there. He has to get rid of the football, and he's going to have to do that by quickening up his delivery and his mental fortitude. Get the ball out now. He's not going to have the luxury of being Kyler Murray 4-3 that can run around and get out of there in the NFL. So I want to see it unfold, but he had a hell of a fucking year, 4,000 yards, whatever. What do you have, 38? I don't know what he had. But
38 touchdowns, 8 picks.
Yeah, I don't know how he's left out. I think it's one of those things where if you think you have the Heisman winner and Travis, we can't have two. I don't know. That's how a lot of these fucks think, man. I think I'm like, fuck you. That's a you problem. If we got all 4 of my players are Heisman candidates, fucking put them in there. Like that's how I am. Same with Coach of the Year. Same with all that shit. I think we reward mediocrity too much now, and it's become our new excellence. Dan Lanning's fucking undefeated. He should be Coach of the Year. I'm sorry. It is what it is. You can talk about all the great coaches that what they've done here and there, but listen, my guy Cignetti at Indiana, great job. They beat nobody. They had the worst fucking strength of schedule, and besides SMU in the playoff. I love him, but you know what? Dan Lanning wins games. He beat Ohio State. He's in his only unblemished team in the tournament. And guess what? He beat 3 teams in the playoffs. No other team's done that. He's the fucking Coach of the Year. Let's start rewarding guys who earn it, not guys who we think deserve a fucking award. So that's where I'm at. That's what we should do for everything in life, not just coaching, but it is what it is. We'll see what happens, man. I'm excited to see this shit show of a 12-team playoff that I think is going to be an absolute mockery.
Well, let me be fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, you know why I know it's a mockery? The first round. Have you seen the odds?
I haven't. No.
They're like they're like 12, 14, 6. If it was so fucking legit, why aren't those like pick-me games?
I think there's money to be made on that, but
Vegas knows.
Yeah. Let me ask you before. So you said you don't like very many quarterbacks in this class. 1, do you think Shedeur is the best quarterback in this draft class? And 2, we had Sean King on the other day, and he said, Shedeur, in order for Shedeur to have success, it's got to be a good fit in the NFL. And we discussed a couple teams in the NFL. Do you have a team like maybe the Raiders or the Giants, any of those top teams you think would be a good fit for him? Is my other question.
So listen, I'll break it down, man. This is how bad I think this class is. Like Kyle, here's another guy that I think should be in the consideration because this guy, Kyle McCord, goes over to Syracuse and breaks all these fucking records. And he did that when he was super average at an Ohio State team last year with Ryan Day, who for some reason can't beat Michigan. And it doesn't really matter what quarterback Ryan Day has. They're shitty. The bottom line is they're a Lamborghini with hubcaps, and Ryan Day is on eggshells right now. He better win it all. So Kyle McCord is another guy, in my opinion, that could have had it easily been invited to this thing for the year he had at Syracuse. But again, I don't see him translating. Drew Aller, I believe, Nussmeier, Milroe is an athlete. He has no shot at being an NFL QB, in my opinion. Carson Beck, to me, looks like he just fucking snorted a line. Has no shot. No shot. Quinn Ewers has fallen on my stock. Quinn Ewers has fallen off my board completely. I'm just telling you. Cam Ward missed his layups. Miller Moss at SC. I don't know if he's entering the draft or not.
He's in the portal.
Yeah, he's in the portal. Fuck. You know what? I don't love the class. Like I said, Jackson Dart is probably the most game ready. He reminds me the most of Bo Nix, meaning he's had a shit ton of starts. So that equates to the NFL. Shadeur Sanders at least has played 3 years in a row and basically every game. I think that matters. Mm-hmm. So if you ask me the question, is he the best quarterback in college football? Shit, statistically, I mean, yeah, him and Kyle McCord, are they the best for the NFL? I don't know. I don't know a guy in this draft that I would probably take over him right now. I don't like any of them.
Well, there you have it, man.
Now to your team point, man, listen, the Raiders are shit. So do you want them to go there and get fucking rocked and bamboozled again and look shitty? And then now we now ever get to see them develop. That's the problem, man. We put these kids in these places and start them as rookies, and then we expect them to be great, and then we shit on them after a bad season because they're in a bad team. Look at my guy, Sam Darnold, who everybody shit on, who I coached and said, hey, this guy's really fucking good. He hasn't had a shot. He's been through 6 head coaches, 6 OCs, 3 teams, 2 of the teams being the worst in the NFL, fucking Carolina and the Jets. Now all of a sudden he's great. Did he take some type of fucking medicine overnight? No. He had a shit whole organization that drafted him. I don't want to see that because that'll basically ruin these young kids' careers. And that's what I see in Shedeur, Cam Ward, these guys going to the Raiders or Jacksonville or who else is out? The Giants. The Giants Giants would be scaring me to death by the moves they've made that have made their program and franchise so bad. If I'm Dion, I'm like, no. Giants, you guys are ruining fucking players left and right. I don't know where I would go, but those are the teams you're going to have pick, that's going to be very interested in Shedeur, in my opinion. Right. So, I don't know. And I don't even know if AP will be in the Raider. I grew up with AP. I don't know if he'll be a Raider next year. We'll Unfortunately, that's how this game is. They're not going to see the problem between him and the guy in Atlanta. They're not going to say this is his first year in Vegas, which it really is, but they're not going to say it because he was an interim, and they're going to act as if he's been there 2 years. No, really, this is year 1. He deserves some years, but they won't do it. They'll fuck him, and that's the problem. He has no QB. He's got to draft one. He got rid of Devontae fucking Adams. They got rid of Josh Jacobs. How fucking good do you think they're going to be?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I don't know what team best fits them because I don't really watch each team like that anymore. I just know the teams that are shit shows, and that's probably most likely, as Matt knows, the teams that are going to draft them. And I would actually be hoping he goes somewhere and sits and gets to watch. I would throw this at you. If Aaron Rodgers gets off the weed and the ayahuasca and all the weirdo shit and can play,
right.
Can he play one more year? Can he get back to playing one more year solid, Matt? Mm-hmm. And then you guys draft Shedeur there. I would rather see him back up Aaron Rodgers and learn for 1 year.
No, they'll just fuck it up.
Worst nightmare.
I'm just saying.
I don't want anybody good to go to the Jets anymore. If you're good, stay away from the Jets. They'll just fuck you up.
But you know what I'm saying. I would let us see him learn from one person, and Aaron Rodgers would be a great guy to learn from in the NFL. Other than all the weird shit, but he'd be a great quarterback to learn from. So I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. I would have a guy. I wouldn't mind him going to back up a guy that has some real savviness that can teach him the game at the NFL level.
Absolutely.